Welcome back. This is a continuation of problems and solutions of circular motion. In front of us, we have a question that reads, an object makes 73.5 rotations in a minute through a circle of radius 500 centimeters. Determine the angular velocity, the linear velocity. Take pi is equal to 22/7. Solution. We are given the information that the number of rotation is 73.5 rotations. And the total time taken there was 1 minute, okay, which is the same as 60 seconds. The radius is given as 500 centimeters, which is going to be 5 meters by dividing it by 100. We are instructed to take pi as 22/7. So going on to answer the question, we want to find the angular velocity, that is omega. We can know the angular velocity by first finding the frequency. The frequency is given by the number of rotations divided by the total time. The number of rotations is 73.5 rotations divided by the total time was 1 minute, which is 60 seconds. So 73.5 divided by 60 is 1.225 hertz. So to answer question 1, the angular velocity is equal to 2 pi f. That is 2 times pi is given as 22/7 times the frequency is 1.225. If you do the calculation, we end up having the answer 7.7 radians per second. So that is question 1. Question 2 asks us to find the linear velocity. We know that the linear velocity is equal to the angular velocity multiplied by the radius. So that is the angular velocity is 7.7 radians per second multiplied by the radius is 5 meters. Okay, so that will give us 38.5 meters per second. The centripetal force on a 0.8 kilogram object on the end of a 1.6 meter massless string being swung in a horizontal circle is 12.5 newtons. What is the tangential velocity of the object? Solution. The mass given to us here is 0.8 kilograms. The centripetal force is 12.5 newtons. And the length of the string is given as 1.6 meters. So that is going to be the same as the radius, okay, of the circle is 1.6 meters. So do not get confused with that. If you have a string of length 1.6 meters and a ball is attached to it or any object, if this object is to go in circular motion, you realize that the length of the string is actually the radius of the circle, right? So we want to find the tangential velocity, otherwise known as the linear velocity? Well, the formula that has to involve centripetal force is either F is equal to mv square all over r, or F is equal to m omega square r. We want to find the tangential velocity v, so which means this is the more suitable formula that we can use. But if we want to use this formula, we will first have to find the angular velocity, and from there we can be able to find the linear velocity. We can do both, okay? So if we have this formula, F is equal to mv squared divided by r, and we cross multiply, we will have Fr is equal to mv squared. To make v the subject of the formula, we divide both sides by m. So the m will cancel out. Therefore, v squared is equal to Fr divided by m. So we can substitute the values. The centripetal force is given as 12.5 newtons multiplied by the radius is 1.6 meters divided by the mass is 0.8 kilograms. So v square is 25. To find v is going to be the square root of 25. So v is equal to 5 meters per second. Okay, that is how you find v. But if alternatively I want to use F is equal to m omega square r, then we first have to find the angular velocity omega. So using F is equal to m omega square r, if we want to make omega the subject of the formula, we divide both sides by mr. That is m cancels m, r cancels r. So we're going to have F all over mr is equal to omega square. So that is omega square is equal to F divided by mr. If we substitute the values, the centripetal force is 12.5 newtons divided by the mass is 0.8 kilograms multiplied by the radius is 1.6 meters. So 12.5 divided by 0.8 times 1.6, you will have 9.765625 as omega squared. So if I just want to find omega, that will be the square root of 9.765625. So omega will be 3.125 radians per second. So I know that V is equal to omega R. So that will be 3.125 multiplied by the radius is 1.6. So 3.125 times 1.6 is still going to give you 5 meters per second as the tangential velocity or the linear velocity. A body of mass 5.6 kilograms moves around a circular part of radius 3.5 meters and completing a revolution in 4.4 seconds. What is the centripetal force? Take pi as 22/7. Solution: the mass of the body is 5.6 kilograms. The radius of the circle is 3.5 meters. It says the body completes a revolution in 4.4 seconds. So what does that mean? That is the period, okay? it is 4.4 seconds. Remember, period is the time taken for a body to complete a revolution or a rotation. Okay, just a single rotation is what we're talking about. The time taken for a body to perform a single rotation or a single revolution is called the period. And it has stated that it takes 4.4 seconds to complete a revolution. That is, the time taken to perform just a single revolution was 4.4 seconds. Moving on, pi is given as 22/7. So how do we find the centripetal force? To find the centripetal force, we either use F is equal to mv squared divided by r, or F is equal to m omega square r. So which means either we know the linear velocity or the angular velocity in order to be able to find the centripetal force. So how do we find the linear velocity? It is equal to 2 pi r divided by the period. This is one of the formulae of linear velocity. It is equal to 2 pi r divided by the period. Okay, so that is going to be 2 times pi is 22/7 times the radius is 3.5 divided by the period is 4.4 seconds. So 2 times 22/7 times 3.5 is 22. So that will be divided by 4.4 seconds. So 22 divided by 4.4 is 5. So it means the linear velocity is 5 meters per second. All right. So if we want to find the angular velocity, we can also do that. The formula for angular velocity is 2 pi divided by the period. Okay, so that's going to be 2 times pi is 22/7 divided by the period is 4.4. So that will be 2 times 22/7 divided by 4.4. We will have 10/7 radians per second as our answer. Okay, so we have the linear velocity as 2 pi r divided by t, or the angular velocity as 2 pi over t. Well, to be able to have the exact answers, I decided to leave the angular velocity as this, 10/7 radians per second, because approximating will make us not to get the exact answer. So I decided to leave it like that. Okay, using F is equal to mv squared divided by r, the mass of the object is 5.6 kilograms multiplied by the linear velocity is 5, so that will be squared, divided by the radius is 3.5 meters. So 5.6 times 5 squared is 140 divided by 3.5. You will have 40 newtons as your answer. But if we want to use F is equal to m omega square r, the mass of the object is 5.6 kilograms times omega, we calculated it as 10/7. So it means that has to be squared times the radius is 3.5. So that will be 5.6 times 10 square is 100, divided by 7 square is 49, then times 3.5. So you will still have 40 newtons if you make that calculation out. Okay, so you see, you get the same answers. The only thing that you have to be careful here is that if this expression is going to give you a decimal, try to leave your answer in fraction, okay, so that you can use it like that in your successive calculations in order to avoid getting difference in your answers. An object of mass 9 kilograms moves with a speed of 6 meters per second in a circular path of radius 5 meters. Calculate the centripetal acceleration, the centripetal force. Solution: the mass of the object is 9 kilograms. It is moving with a linear velocity or speed of 6 meters per second. The radius of the circle is 5 meters. Okay. To answer question 1, we want to find the centripetal acceleration. Acceleration is either you use v squared divided by r, or acceleration is equal to omega square r. So it will be easy for us to use this formula since the linear velocity is given and the radius is given. So that is going to be 6 square divided by r is 5. 6 square divided by 5 is 7.2 meters per second squared. The second question asks us to find the centripetal force. It's either we use F is equal to mv squared divided by r, or F is equal to m omega square r. But since we do not know the angular velocity omega, it is going to be simple for us to use this formula. So let's try to use that. The mass of the object given in the question is 9 kilograms multiplied by the linear velocity is 6, that will be squared, divided by the radius is 5. So that is 9 times 6 squared divided by 5. We will end up having 64.8 newtons as our answer. Okay, but if we wanted to use acceleration is equal to omega square r, or F is equal to m omega square r, it means we should first try to find a way to have the angular velocity omega. Okay, so we know that using v is equal to omega r, to find omega we divide both sides by r. So it means omega is equal to v divided by r. So the linear velocity is given in the question as 6, divided by the radius is also given in the question, that is 5. So 6 divided by 5 is 1.2. So which means the angular velocity is 1.2 radians per second. So using that and substituting it in this formula, we would have been able to find the centripetal acceleration. So centripetal acceleration is omega squared times r. What is the angular velocity is 1.2, so that will be squared, times the radius is 5 meters. So 1.2 squared times 5 is 7.2 meters per second squared. Okay, and that is the answer for centripetal acceleration. If at all we want to use F is equal to m omega square r to find the centripetal force, the mass given in the question is 9 kilograms multiplied by, we calculated the angular velocity as 1.2, so that will be squared times the radius is 5. 9 times 1.2 squared times 5 is 64.8 newtons. So as you can see, you have different ways of calculating the centripetal acceleration and the centripetal force. You do not need to show all these different formulae to have what you need. Just take the one that is direct and get your answer. A body in circular motion has an angular displacement of 3 pi over 2 radians. What is the distance traveled along the circumference of a circle with a radius of 63 centimeters? Solution: the angular displacement theta is equal to 3 pi over 2 radians. This is angular displacement, not angular velocity, so do not confuse them. And the radius of the circle is 63 centimeters. That is the same as 0.63 meters. Now, we know that the angular displacement is equal to the length of the arc divided by the radius. Okay, and this length of the arc is also the same as the distance traveled along the circumference of a circle. So if we want to find S, that will be equal to theta r. Okay, so what is theta? It is 3 pi divided by 2. So that is going to be multiplied by the radius in meters is 0.63 meters. So 3 over 2 times 0.63, that is 0.945. So that will be 0.945 pi. So if we want to substitute the value of pi as 22 over 7, we're going to have 0.945 times 22 over 7. And that is going to give us 2.97 meters as the distance traveled along the circumference of the circle. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please make a comment regarding this video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. You can share and like our videos. If you have any suggestion regarding this video or any other topic that you would like our team to make a video about, you are always free to write in the comment section. See you soon in our next video.